I would get huge, strong guys who, can lift 100-pound, parcels and whatnot. You'd get them doing some rotator cuff stabilization with no weights, and they would shake, and we'd get weak in those stabilizers, and we don't realize it.
You really like to focus on fitness kind of as you're aging.
And I call it training for life. Like you said, we're not all athletes. We're not training for competitions or sports.
The education part of it is so important.
And that's why people give up.
Exactly, because they just fail right away.
Yeah, it hurts. Half of us don't even get the recommended amount of daily movement for good health. A lot of people have sedentary jobs, so just get up and do something.
So I did like a running round off and landed it, and it turned into a broken neck. Yeah.
What?
Hey everybody, have you been to the gym in a while, or are you thinking about getting back into it but you're a little intimidated or not sure where to start? Today we have Jody Groebner from EverStrong Training here to talk about all of those things, educate us nutritionally and physically about what we need to do to keep our bodies moving. And if you want to know about what an exercise snack is, stay tuned. It's not what you think.
Welcome to the Princeton Podcast, your go-to source for everything happening in and around Princeton. Join your hosts, Zach, Mary, and Kim, three locals who live and work right here in Princeton, as we bring you the latest events, exclusive interviews with local businesses, and stories that make our town special. Your community, your stories, your podcast.
Well, hey, Jody, thanks for joining us on our podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to learn more about your new business venture here in Princeton and how you got into fitness itself and just kind of learn all about you.
Well, I got into fitness a long time ago, back when we had aerobics instructors. Do you remember when it was called aerobics?
Yes,
right
I
out
do.
Right out of high school, I found a weekend workshop to become a certified aerobic instructor and was looking for something fun to do to stay active. I had been in dance and gymnastics, and back then aerobics was very dancey. So I did that, and it was a good part-time job to have through college, and just kind of being in that space really deepens your interest in health and fitness. And I was working towards a marketing degree and wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with it, and really liked health and fitness, so I started taking health classes and got a community health degree, and stayed kind of working in the fitness center space, did some management positions. After I had my kids, I just stayed part-time doing group fitness. That's what aerobics later became known as.
Group fitness
Instruction and personal training. Did that while they were young, and as they got older and got more active in activities and whatnot, I kind of stepped away from fitness for a bit. And after they graduated from high school, I actually went back to school to be a physical therapist assistant. And that's what I've been doing for quite a while now. And it's really kind of made me more interested in getting back into fitness again. Okay. It's kind of changed my perspective on things and made me realize that I could combine the two and be a better trainer than I was back in my 20s.
Definitely. And I mean, when you think too about the fitness in general, like when you're talking about aerobics and how things have changed, through the years.
Right.
And now, I do see there's some cardio that's more dancey, like
it's
it
kind of
used to
coming
be.
back again.
It is kind of, It's interesting how that, but your focus, you really like to focus on fitness kind of as you're aging and what you need to do. We're not taking part in prepping for bodybuilding contests and things like that. We're just trying to stay fit and active so we can play with our kids on the floor and get up and that kind of thing, correct?
And I call it training for life. That's my motto. It's, like you said, we're not all athletes. We're not training for competitions or sports. Some of us just want to do what we need to do to stay mobile, strong, active, and do the things we want to do pain-free, injury-free for as long as we possibly can. Stay, functionally independent and, basically do the least amount that we have to in order to get the most benefit. Because we're not all people that want to live in the gym. So
and so is that kind of how you made the transition? Because you were in physical therapy kind of thing and seeing that a
working in assisted living and nursing homes and really seeing the aging process and getting older myself. It just also, fitness advice can be really confusing for people. The more you see, the more it all starts to contradict it, itself, whatever. So I just wanted to kind of pull all that together and make it safe, doable, approachable, for people that maybe have never really been into it, don't know where to start, maybe they're intimidated by the gym.
And so what would somebody that's not really been to the gym and not really gotten into it before, but wants to give it a try, what's your advice for people?
I advise starting to work with a coach or a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it is a skill. It's something that you don't just know how to do. Strength training, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Walking, everybody can get out and walk. That's, low barrier to entry there. But to really know how to do strength training properly and not get hurt and to do it effectively, because, you could go to the gym and bounce around and spin your wheels and be, this isn't doing anything, but you have to have proper programming, you have to have the proper nutrition and proper recovery, and there's a lot that goes into it. And just working with a trainer, even if it's just for a short amount of time to learn the basics, I think is really important. Yeah.
I remember going back to the gym like back in the day, and I would get a membership just because I'm like, I need to get, healthier, in better shape. And I would just kind of bounce from machine to machine,
Right.
not knowing really like what was that even doing or what muscles
is it
were
set
that
up
working.
properly for my body? And
Right.
am I using the right weight? And,
I just would go and just hop on machine to
Yep.
machine to machine and not really even knowing what
Right.
was benefiting me.
Exactly.
Just being there, I think, just made me feel better. But
And you shouldn't have to work with a trainer the rest of your life. You can if you want to, but just to get that foundational, basic knowledge and know what to do and where to start.
And what muscles should I be working on and why, like what, lifting this or doing this, or, you probably make it more compared to life, like, carrying in
Very functional,
groceries or holding, grandchildren or whatever it is, like to your life. Well, this is the stuff, these are the muscles that are important then.
Right. And then just having someone watch you, because, there's a lot of free stuff online. You can do free workouts, but they're not looking at you. You could be doing something wrong and get away with it for quite a while until one day you don't.
That's
and
right.
it's just a, breakdown in form over time.
So do you ever work with people who have like a chronic disease, like MS, for example?
Oh,
Somebody
I sure
that,
could. Yep.
and kind of tailor something to that
Right.
person.
And that's where like my therapy background comes into in handy, because I'm used to working with a lot of different conditions and
to try to get that strength back up.
Definitely.
And,
Yeah.
So let's pull back a little bit and talk about. So we talked about your background and that you've had a ton of experience in physical fitness and health and stuff. So you decided to go out on your own with a business, and you call it EverStrong.
Yep.
So tell us about that, where it is, and just more about it.
Sure. Well, it's a private fitness studio that I operate actually out of my son's basement, who lives right next door to me. He moved into the house, and the basement was set up perfectly for a fitness studio. It had this large room. That's where I do my classes. It had a gym space already with the gym flooring and whatnot. And I just kept looking at it. And he's just a single guy that lived upstairs at the time, and he didn't have any use for all that space. And I kept saying, maybe you should just rent it out to somebody who maybe wants to do fitness or something. And then my wheels started turning, and I'm like, wait a minute, why don't I do it? At the time I was just working on call in therapy. I went to that to have more flexibility in my schedule because I wanted to go to Texas when my granddaughter was born and stay for a few weeks. And I didn't have the flexibility in my schedule, so I went to on-call, and so that was my time off. I just started thinking. I thought about it for like over a year before I finally did something about it. So, and I started that and thought, I have the perfect space. I'll see where it goes. Started with some classes and added more, and then I got some training clients, and I just kept expanding and just sort of seeing where it goes.
Yeah.
What kind of classes do you offer?
The first one I offered that I teach 3 times a week is called Strong Foundation. It's kind of my own creation. It's based on a lot of the exercises that I use to rehab my own back and to stay pain-free. So it's very core and hip-focused stability, and we do a lot of mobility and then stretching and relaxation at the end. And then I do a class called Total Body Strength, which is strength training, and it just meets you where you're at. Some of the people are doing body weight, some are doing resistance bands, some are doing dumbbells. So there's lots of options. And I teach a bar and Pilates fusion class, just for fun.
That sounds scary.
Cool. No, it's not scary at all. And I've done active aging. It just means combining those two types of exercise in one class.
What's bar?
Bar, so it's it's kind of ballet inspired with the ballet bar.
That's where
So
my mind went.
it started out, more dancey and, for ballerinas to keep in shape. But it's evolved over the years, and sometimes you'll go to a bar class and they don't even use the bar. But I use the bar, and the part of the class that I do bar for is lower body. We do a lot of, lower body endurance work, leg lifts, squats, that sort of thing.
Oh, just what I need.
And then the Pilates part, then we get down on the mat and we focus on core with a lot of the traditional Pilates exercises and just some of the corrective exercises that I like from therapy. And then I've done active aging. That was my 6-week program that I did for older adults in the fall.
Okay, that's the one I was thinking about.
Sure.
That's like a specialty for
Yeah.
older
Yep.
women or just
Anybody.
Anybody,
Yep.
okay.
Just designed for older people to get moving and
Yeah.
get stronger, work on balance.
What is the
And,
kind of the age that you're focusing on for that?
For that one, in that class, I had people in their 60s all the way up to people in their 80s.
Cool.
Yeah, it just kind of depends on if that it's appropriate for you. It was a lot of exercises, sitting in a chair,
Yep.
standing at a chair. We did some strength work, moving around in the room with
Okay.
the persistence bands and whatnot. But yeah, but I can accommodate it to whatever level.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then you also do coaching or
Yes.
personal
Yep.
training.
Yep. Yep. I do personal training, nutrition coaching, and corrective exercise sessions. And now I'm starting some workshops because I want to make things more approachable for people, because not everyone, it's not feasible to have a personal trainer, one-on-one. Gets a little spendy. So I'm trying to do more group programs. Like right now I'm running a women's strength training workshop. So it's a smaller group, 6 people, but it cuts the price way down than, compared to a personal training session.
So how does that work then with a small group?
As far as
So if you have somebody who would come maybe to get some coaching and personal training for the one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
So with the 6 people, it allows you to also do some individual attention with, or
more,
is it?
more so than in a class,
Yeah.
but not as personalized as one-on-one. So if
Yeah.
you have some specific issues or goals or conditions or things that need more, I keep doing
that's
customized.
I know, my writing is
sorry. I would recommend more one-on-one, but if you're just there because you want to learn the basics of strength training and you don't have any specific injuries or things we're working around, that would be appropriate for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this women's workshop, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm starting that this week. There's going to be a session Thursday night and one on Friday mornings. Thursday nights at 6, Friday mornings at 10.
Same class or 2 different?
It's going to be the same one, just 2 different sessions. So,
Okay.
yeah, depending on what time works for you. I have one more spot left in Friday morning and a few more spots in Thursday night. And it's just going to be starting from the beginning and just, what goes into a strength training workout, what's the proper form and technique for all the basic movements, how do you structure it, how do you progress, how do you choose what weights, just all the basics.
So you're educating them?
Yep, it's going to
Okay.
be very educational, but
Okay.
it'll be involving movement as well and learning proper technique and form. And then at the end, you'll have just a basic workout you can take and do at home, do at the gym.
Very
just
cool.
to give you the
I think that is something that is so, people want that, because, they might have a set of dumbbells at home or something, and it's like, what, do I just grab one? And,
Right, exactly. Yeah,
like
that's
you
why
said, going machine to
Yeah.
machine, you don't know.
Yeah, that's why I want to do more education-based programs. And
And so
is great.
is this workshop just the one time, just one day?
it's one day a week for 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm hoping to keep it going on a regular basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Interesting.
each week you just kind of build on that, and at the end you have a workout. That is cool.
Cover different topics, and yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
That sounds perfect. We
I
should
know,
do that, Kim.
I know. I was
Yeah,
just
I
thinking
got room
about
Thursday night.
10
You
o'clock
guys can
and
start.
Friday mornings would be good for me too, except for this Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Well, you'll have to get on my email list.
okay. That's
And
what
how
we'll
would
do.
we do that?
You can go to my Facebook page, and I have a post pinned at the top that you can click on to get on my email list.
Oh,
Perfect.
okay. That's what we can
Yeah,
do
we'll
then.
do
So
that
it's,
right away.
the Facebook page is EverStrong
EverStrong
Training.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
if you just do EverStrong, you'll get to it.
It'll
But-
pop
Okay.
up. Just
Yeah.
EverStrong Princeton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assume your address is Princeton, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. But my phone number, my email, my Vagaro booking site where you
Yeah, where
has
you
all
can
my
book.
services
Yep.
listed, and
I've seen that too.
So all the classes, and we can find that there.
Yep.
So
Okay.
what are some barriers that you find that people face in just coming through the door, and for
I
the
think
first time?
the biggest barrier is just getting started. I think that's the hardest thing.
I agree. Why?
Just not knowing where to go, what to do, I think. And if you've had any pain or injuries, there's that fear of movement of, am I causing, damage, or just not knowing what's normal and what's not. And just like I said before, not knowing where to start, because it is a skill.
Right.
So-
And then, the consistency too. I think that
That's
I
my
also,
problem.
Yeah. I also think that if
Keep
you're
doing it.
that accountability of group,
Yes.
like the 6-week program.
Yep.
If you have people
Yeah.
that are, well, where was she today?
Exactly.
Or, and you don't want to be that one that's missing. And
Right.
Yeah, I think that helps.
And
a
then
lot
like
too.
for, my classes, they get to see their friends, it's like we have the chit chat session before the class starts, and
Yeah.
it's just, built-in accountability.
And afterwards too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you
Yeah.
kind of describe your studio a little way about how it's welcoming and, yeah.
Well, let's see, it's welcoming because I'm welcoming the people when they no, I just try to put them at ease and make them feel comfortable, and get to know them, what their history, their exercise history, injuries, things like that to work around. Encourage everyone to work at their own pace and make it their own. It's movement quality over quantity, and I provide lots of options to accommodate different experience levels. And I just want people to be comfortable. My studio where I teach classes has no mirrors, which I think is, some people like that because
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
not so intimidating,
Yes.
And my clients tell me it has kind of a cozy vibe. It's all like wood, kind of cabin cozy. And they just really like how clean it is. And I don't know, it's just a nice supportive atmosphere. It's all, so far, my clientele is all people, women like my age and older. And
I
Yeah.
love that you don't have mirrors.
I know. That's a really.
I have
that's
one
a-
small one in my training area,
Otherwise
just
you
if we
just,
need it for
like-
feedback. But
Right.
Yeah, that's the only thing for feedback. Otherwise, you're looking at yourself and just, I
Yeah.
mean, me in particular,
Yeah.
you're constantly judging, like,
And-
oh, I look like such an idiot,
Constantly.
or
yeah, and I don't want that at all. I want my messaging to be on function and health and not appearance and, that sort of thing. So
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Do you do a cardio aspect at all of your, or is your?
I
are you
really
mainly-
don't.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no.
Because that's the one thing that people could do all the time, every day. Get, like
Just
you
get
said,
out
get
and
out and walk. Yeah, yep. So
Yeah.
if they,
Right.
add that to what you're
Yeah.
teaching them.
I mean, the bar portion of my bar class is a little bit of cardio. It's kind of, you get your heart rate up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've tossed around the idea of maybe doing some sort of cardio, but I don't know.
Well, and I feel like, years ago, cardio was the thing. Like,
Yeah.
you just need cardio. That's how you lose weight. That's how you
Right.
burn calories. That's how you, all you just go be a runner.
cardio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just evolved into more of strength.
Yeah. And if I were to do cardio, I would want to do something dancey.
Yeah.
Right,
Just for
something
fun.
Uh-huh.
For sure.
Or just, do something more, you get your base cardio in your, with your walking, but then they say, you need a little bit of intensity. So, I could do a class that incorporated a little bit of HIIT training or something like that. But
And depending on what you're doing too, when you're strength training, whether, like I think about thrusters, that is definitely gets your heart rate going for sure.
yeah.
But
Is that with like the bell and you like whip it up?
The kettlebell.
kettlebell, that's another one that can be that.
So it's, I could do a class that was more conditioning
Exactly,
or something like that.
yeah.
But I'm just one person, and I'm already doing
Exactly.
Yeah, you're growing,
6
which
classes
is awesome.
a week. So
And
I
I'm
kind
sure
of keeping my
that-
focus on strength. And,
Yes,
yeah.
and I'm sure you're constantly getting feedback about, oh, I love this, I love this, I love this. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
And so do you add, I think you might have touched on this, but the nutrition part of it, do you educate on that to your clients?
Yeah, I mean, it just is always in our conversation that we're having before, after, kind of during class, and it's incorporated into the personal training. And I'm a nutrition coach, so I can do it, standalone as well. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you've kind of answered a lot of the questions I have here because you talked about some fitness about that you can do at home or a gym. So that's what I love about your 6-week class is that you walk away with knowledge of how you could either do this at home or bring it to the gym if you don't have the equipment. Do
Right.
people need to bring anything with them to your class?
Nope.
Just themselves and
Just
some water?
themselves, or water bottle, because I don't have a water
Yep.
fountain or anything. Some of the classes, grip socks are nice, but not required. And they don't have to clean their mats when they're done. I take care of all that. They just come in and enjoy.
This is so interesting.
It is, because it's different than what I thought it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What did you think it was?
Well, I just feel like it's so much more education than I
Okay.
realized
Yeah.
that it's about, learning and then taking it where you're going to go. Like you said, personal training is, a lot of people would benefit from doing that every day, but most people probably can't afford that.
Exactly. Yep.
So, I also thought there was, I didn't realize it was all strength, which is also awesome because that is what you need when you age. It also helps your metabolism to
Yeah.
stay moving
Yep.
and going when you strength train. And
Yep.
yeah,
They say that if you could bottle the benefits of strength training into a pill, it would be like the most widely prescribed and most effective against
I buy
all
it.
chronic disease.
I buy it.
Or just
Exactly.
exercise and strength training both,
Yeah.
why don't you work on that? Why working on that pill?
Okay.
Turn into a scientist.
No, that would put me out of business then.
That's true. That's true.
Twice New Clothing and Treasures, formerly known as the Princeton Clothing Center, is an all-volunteer nonprofit organization. The store has been in the community since 1953 and uses the proceeds from its sales of donated merchandise to support various causes and nonprofits in the community. Each year, Twice New puts thousands and thousands of dollars back into the community. What can you find at Twice New Clothing and Treasures? Almost anything. They often receive new clothing items with tags. In addition to clothing, you can find sheets, blankets, books, cooking items, knickknacks, purses, toys, and much more. And don't forget to walk across the hall to check out Twice New, too. This is an expanded area with lots of great finds. Twice New Clothing and Treasures operates off your purchases. The more you purchase, the more they're able to support the community, and they're always looking for volunteers. Check out Twice New Clothing and Treasures, located in the Princeton Mall at 116 South Rum River Drive. They're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come find your treasure at Twice New Clothing and Treasures.
And I love that you have that physical therapy background.
Yeah,
Because you can
it really
focus
comes in,
on
yeah.
prevention. Or, rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Like you said, you get to know, past injuries
Right.
and
Right.
certain spots that people need to work on
Yeah,
or
and
avoid.
somebody will say, "Oh, I've got this going on or this," and I'll give them some little thing they can do at home, and then they'll come back and be like, "Wow, that really helped."
Yeah. And you have such a ton of experience with all of this.
Yeah,
And I
it
feel
just
like,
kinda-
too, sometimes when you go to physical therapy, they have you do what you might consider like, why am I doing, this or whatever, and it's like,
there's a reason.
there is, and it makes a difference.
Yes.
As long as you're doing
Yeah.
what you're told
Yeah.
to do, there's a reason.
Yeah, I worked in work hardening for a while in therapy. That's helping injured workers go from when they're done with therapy. What do I keep doing? To they're not ready to get back to their physical job. So
Yes.
we bridge the gap there. And I would get huge, strong guys who, can lift 100-pound, parcels and whatnot. But you'd get them doing some rotator cuff stabilization with no weights, and they would shake. And it's hard because, the big muscles take over, and we have a lot of compensation, and we get weak in those stabilizers, and we
Right.
don't realize it.
And you don't
And that's
realize
where my
it.
strong foundation class came in. It's like, we need to get strong in the core and the hips and all this and
Yeah.
build from there. So you jump right into weights without that,
First,
Exactly.
you can set yourself up for a lot of pain and injury.
Absolutely, you can.
So-
Especially when you think, well, in order to get anything out of this, I have to lift more.
Right, and I
You
have to
know?
kill myself in the
Yes.
gym and
yes.
no.
Yeah. And so the education part of it is
Yeah.
so important.
And that's why people give up.
Exactly. Because they just fail right away.
Yeah, it hurts, or
Yeah.
you're sore for days,
Yes.
or you get hurt, or
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Or you look in the mirror and you look so dumb so you don't come back.
You're stuck in the mirror thing.
Well, I don't have any mirrors, so don't worry about that.
And so now, how long have you been open?
Since last June.
Okay, so you're coming up on a year. Do you have any client success stories yet that, that stick out? Or I know it's...
It's all just the little wins. Like I said, somebody saying that exercise you gave me really helped my back, or, since coming to your classes, I don't have hip pain anymore. And when people say, I can do the stairs now and I'm not winded, or I fell off the tube when I was tubing with my grandkid and I was able to pull myself back up.
Yes.
And I just,
Okay,
I had
huge.
two ladies. It is. I had two ladies that I was training, and they're in their 50s and 60s. They asked for dumbbells for Christmas, and I was like, that's a win.
That is so awesome, because now they know what to do and, what works for them.
Yeah.
And what kind of weights to get and how heavy. And, that is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so just those little everyday wins.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to know the answer to this question. What's your go-to workout when you're short on time?
Well, I have an unfair advantage because I'm always working out for my job.
Right. I suppose. So you're doing it right with them.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if for someone else, short on time,
like me,
the first thing to focus on is just increasing your daily movement, because I think it's like half of us don't even get the recommended amount of daily movement for good health. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people have sedentary jobs. So just breaking up your sitting every 30 to 60 minutes, and incorporating in some exercise snacks. We call them little bouts of get up and do something.
Exercise snacks.
Exercise snacks. Yeah, because
love that.
Even if you had a sedentary job and you're sitting most of the day and you went to the gym for an hour, they say that's not even enough to counteract all that sitting.
Get out.
You have to move throughout the day. We're not meant to be sitting all day, So
what would
just
be
add
an exercise snack for somebody that sits a lot in their job?
Get up and do 10 air squats.
Okay.
Get up and go walk for 2 minutes. Go do the stairs quick. Do, anything.
Okay.
Do some push-ups. Do whatever.
Just get
whatever
up.
you can do. Yeah, just move. So yes, first and foremost, I think you have to just move more. And once you got that dialed in, and that's pretty consistent, try to start getting some strength training, even if it's starting with body weight exercises. Whatever, just get something going.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the abs going.
And even
push-ups.
if it's 5 minutes, I always say 5 minutes is better than 0 minutes. You got to do something.
And I think the other important thing for people to understand is that everything can be modified.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that you're going to be doing push-ups. Mm-hmm. Well, there's lots of ways to modify that.
I had a lot of people start on the wall.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. You can go from the wall to a box or a bench
a
to your
kitchen
knee.
counter.
Yes,
your knees.
Just kind of gradually go down to the floor to where you're doing a full push-up. So that's another thing I think is good for people to know, that everything can be modified to where you are.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all
Personally to
about
where you
meeting
are.
the person where they're at and just knowing how to progress them appropriately.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what is there a fitness myth? I loved your exercise snacks, so that was a good one. But what would be a fitness myth that you would like to bust?
That you have to work out to the extreme and you have to get super sore for it to be effective. That's not true.
That's kind of how I always feel. I always feel like the next day if I'm sore, I'm like, oh.
Ooh,
I mean, it's okay. Usually that's just from doing something new, but the kind of soreness where it's for days, and you have to recover.
Like you can't sleep.
Recovery is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even I love everything that you're saying. I mean, about all the education behind it, because even doing squats can be done incorrectly.
Oh yeah.
And you just do,
hurt your back.
Yeah, I mean, you can hurt yourself doing that. So I just think that even if you want to do a home workout, or you feel going to the gym is something that helps motivate you, seeing you first. I mean, that's the ticket, because then you get all that education, and then maybe you won't feel so intimidated walking into a gym or doing,
Yep, I agree.
Or someone to just keep you accountable, check in.
Yep.
Haven't seen you for a while type. You're so personal with people that I can see that happening. Like, I haven't seen you for a couple weeks.
Right.
Get your butt back here. We miss you.
That's
That's what I need.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what do you see for your business in the future? What are your goals?
like I said, just trying to expand more of my educational workshops and offerings like that. I have some other topics that I'm kind of pondering, and yeah, just keep expanding the current services that I offer and hopefully reach more people.
Right, and,
Yeah.
and the background that you bring to it. I think I introduced you at leadership about how when I think of you back in high school, I just immediately go to gymnastics.
I do too. I always
that
think 'cause
funny?
you're such a gymnast.
Yeah, hence the reason I have to rehab my back now.
Right, exactly. Mhm.
But I have to say, no more back pain. So
Yeah, so that's good. Did you do, on a personal note, did you continue gymnastics after high school? No, yeah.
No. That's why I think I got into aerobics. I needed an outlet for, something to stay
Right.
active, but I don't know how many people, that's not really a sport you continue after, unless you go into college, whatever,
Yeah,
sports. And
yeah.
yeah.
And even when you look back at back even in and when we were in high school compared to what they're doing now, it's
Oh my gosh. yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, most people
Right.
don't do that. I did
No.
a cartwheel during practice one day.
And
I can still do a cartwheel, but I did a somersault the other day and my neck hurt for days.
Yes.
One more somersault.
yes.
I did a cartwheel and my girls were watching. They were just stretching, and I thought,
For volleyball?
For volleyball, yeah. And I just would typically just do a cartwheel. I don't know why. I feel like it was in slow motion, but it would stretch me out. Like just a cartwheel. I'm sure I looked ridiculous. But the girls were teasing me, and they were like, "Were you in gymnastics?" I'm like, "No, I wasn't in gymnastics, but I can do a round off." So I did like a running round off and landed it. And it turned into a broken neck. Yeah.
What?
Had to have surgery.
Oh my gosh.
That's why you need to go to EverStrong Training. And Jody will tell you, do not do
Do
round ups.
not do dumb stuff. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
like my somersault.
I crushed like 3 vertebrae in my
gosh.
neck. And yeah.
There's
It was
something
an awful
about
experience. but
your.
so dumb.
Sometimes we just still think we can do things.
Oh,
I was just
totally.
going to say that.
Totally.
In your mind, I mean, I feel like I could easily do a cartwheel. Obviously, I couldn't. But in my brain, I'm like, I know how to do a cartwheel. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it's kind of funny. Well, Jody, we just really appreciate all this information. I learned a ton today
Me too.
about what you offer, and
The workshops.
I
We have
know.
the sisters have got to do it.
yeah, that'd be really great. I don't know if you can handle all 4 sisters at once, Jody.
I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd be a good small group.
I'll curate one for you. You pick the day and time
There
and
we
get the
go.
people and
okay.
we'll do it.
Okay. Very good.
Fridays.
Yeah, that would be
Work good for
really,
all 4 of
really
us.
fun. So that's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today
Yeah,
on the
thanks
podcast.
for having me.
Yeah, this was really good. So until next time, this is Kim and Mary signing off. This is Princeton. Stay here.
Play here.